Hey, brassfacts here. Shorter video today, but the title kind of says it all. Recently, the popularity of the Somogear full power lasers has skyrocketed. Probably partially my fault. It's really just an appealing product. Incredibly cheap, comes with full power performance. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people have kind of laser focused in on the fact that they seem to hold zero on fire. And then unfortunately, they ignore all the other limitations, failure points, and weaknesses of the laser unit simply because of this fact. So ironically, even though I sold more of these than probably any other content creator, I kind of need to do a video here and kind of say, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit on the Somogear. So to the part you give a shit about as the rest of the sun completely vanishes, ruining my shot, looking like I'm in a complete fucking darkness, even though it's, it's 8:45. The broken Somogear. Basically, all components of it have failed, and then finally, it also lost zero. The plastic around the mount area, but not on the mount, has cracked in roughly 3 to 4 locations, horizontally in line with the rifle. And it's distinctly at the point where it doesn't hold zero if you basically touch it, and it's one bad fall away from basically splitting in half. In fact, I could probably just rip the whole unit off of the top of the gun. The obvious next step is to try to RMA this thing, but unfortunately that didn't kind of work either. I hit up the Somogear and I'm like, hey, can we RMA this? And they're like, oh, well, you actually have had this product longer than the warranty period. You got to send it all the way back to China, which entails a pretty hefty shipping cost. So much so that Somogear basically told me, it's not worth it. We'll give you 30% off of your replacement. Maybe I'll use that on the new metal or the metal NGAL knockoff whenever that comes out, though it's kind of vaporware at this point. Wow, that sun is boiling my eyeballs.
For the 10% of you that have stuck around to this point, thank you by the way, I'll get a bit more in depth about the Somogear and its place in the market. Has my conclusion from the original video changed at all? Of course, somewhat. By and large, it's mostly the same. Did the Somogear crack the code and result into a go-to product? No. I'll say now more so than in that video. The Somogear shouldn't go on your main rifle. It shouldn't go on your second rifle. It goes on your tertiary rifle that you never really planned on putting a laser on, but you bought nods, so now your life revolves around nods, and any rifle you own needs to have nods or it's useless. Literally, this is worse than drugs. Yeah, I can stop at any time. It's a seat warmer laser aiming module that offers a laser aiming module at a fraction of the cost of other lasers that tends to hold zero recoil-wise, and the full-power Chinese LASIK is a nice cherry on top. But performance is obviously not the only standard we care about, and as much as civilian lasers are the epitome of blue balls, a Holosun LS321 is significantly less jank. It gets you a laser that will hold up for about $500. That was and is still my go-to option for people that want a budget laser. Hop basically has washed his hands of this entire laser market and runs a Steiner 9007, the i2, on his main night vision gun, which, by the way, that thing has identical performance to an LS321. Civ lasers and illuminators, yeah, they suck. But maybe we as an industry have whiplashed a little too hard. They're not quite that bad, and it's okay to have one on your rifle. Alright, if you want to spend a little bit more money, once again, $1,400 gets you a D2. Has the same performance roughly as a MUL at the cost of minus 10 ergonomics. Despite my depression being fueled entirely by the abhorrent state of the laser aiming market, there's still better options than needing to use a Somogear as your go-to laser. We knew at the time when I dropped that video 8 months ago that these things were quintessential Chinese hardware. A lot of them come with non-co-aligned lasers, they come with loose electronics, they break after 20 rounds, but with a warranty for the first year, the logic is just send it back until you get a good one and then put it on your 1022 or your 4th AR-15 project that you promise will be the last one. Seriously. The structural cracks on the plastic interestingly seem to indicate the failure point isn't the mount as I suspected, but actually the whole body just eventually stress cracks. Also, while it visually has the same coloring down to the weird wavy artifacts you see on a real PEQ15, this, in fact, is not the same material, it's not composite plastic, it's just plastic. You could shave it off with a pocket knife. Anyway, I shoved this on my airsoft gun where this thing will live out the rest of its days because I got bullied into airsoft, which I'm already starting to regret, but we'll see how long until that whole body shears off.
Jeez.
Dogs are a little smarter than children. Like, they don't just eat anything that you put in front of them.